Have you ever found yourself in a situation where no one believes you? Or worse, when people start to ghost you, stop talking to you, or flat out ignore you? You try to explain yourself, but they won't listen. You feel like you're shouting into an empty room, and all you get in return is silence. It's a devastating feeling, isn't it? That sense of being unseen, unheard, and misunderstood. It's almost like you're invisible to the people around you, and no matter how hard you try to make them understand your perspective, they just won't have it. In these moments, you might feel like you're losing a battle for recognition and validation. You want to scream, "Why doesn't anyone see me? Why does it feel like I don't matter?" You want to get through to them so badly, but all they offer in return is indifference, or worse, complete dismissal. It's frustrating. It's hurtful. It's as though your very existence is being questioned. The silence can be deafening, and the emotional weight of being ignored is like a heavy burden you can't shake off. But here's the hard truth, the truth that you might not want to hear, but need to. This is your moment to rise, not to retreat. When everyone else doubts you, when they won't listen to your words or acknowledge your worth, that's not a time to give up or shrink into yourself. No, this is the moment when you can show the world the power of your inner strength. Instead of wasting time and energy trying to prove yourself to those who refuse to hear you, why not take control of the situation and turn their doubt into your fuel? It's time to shift your perspective. Imagine using their rejection, disbelief, and silence as a powerful driving force to propel you forward. Imagine standing tall in the face of adversity, unaffected by the judgments of others, and unwavering in your pursuit of what truly matters to you. This is where Stoicism can step in and offer you a game-changing mindset. The Stoics, ancient philosophers who practiced emotional resilience and rational thinking, understood that external events, like being doubted or ignored, are often out of our control. What we can control, however, is how we respond to those events. In this video, we'll dive deep into 9 savage Stoic moves that will help you take back control in these moments of rejection and silence. These moves are not about getting others to believe in you or validate your worth. Instead, they're about reclaiming your inner peace, your confidence, and your power, regardless of how others treat you. They will teach you to rise above the noise and cultivate the mental toughness to thrive, even in environments that may not always understand you. If you've ever felt unseen, unheard, or misunderstood, these Stoic moves will help you break free from that cycle. You don't need to chase after anyone's approval or waste your energy trying to convince people who are determined not to listen. Instead, you'll learn how to walk with confidence, hold your head high, and stay true to yourself, even in the face of rejection. So before we dive into these 9 steps, I want to encourage you to hit that like button, drop a comment below with your own experiences of being doubted or ignored, and share this video with anyone who might need a little Stoic inspiration right now. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for all 9 steps, because these strategies will unlock your true power. Let's get into it. Step 1. Master the art of emotional disappearance. When you're being ignored or disbelieved, the very first thing you need to do is disappear emotionally. Now, I know this sounds a bit harsh at first, but stay with me. I'm not talking about cutting people off completely or retreating from relationships entirely. What I mean by emotional disappearance is this: shifting your focus away from those who doubt you or reject you, and most importantly, stopping the pursuit of their validation. This move is not about withdrawing in fear or frustration, but about reclaiming your peace by no longer letting others' opinions control how you feel. The core idea here is rooted in Stoic philosophy, where the focus is on controlling your reactions to external events. One of the most famous Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, put it perfectly when he wrote, "When you are about to be offended by someone's fault, ask yourself, what is it that I'm about to feel?" In other words, when someone disbelieves you, rejects you, or simply ignores you, take a step back and consciously choose how to respond. Their actions may be out of your control, but your emotional response to them is something you can manage. In moments of rejection or silence, we tend to react impulsively. Our emotions flare up, we feel hurt, misunderstood, and even betrayed. But what if you could train yourself to pause before reacting? What if, instead of feeling anger, frustration, or a desperate need to prove your worth, you could simply let their indifference wash over you without letting it affect your inner state? This is where the art of emotional disappearance comes in. It's not about suppressing your emotions or pretending like they don't exist. It's about taking a step back and not allowing your emotional state to be dictated by others. If someone dismisses you, ignores you, or refuses to listen, recognize that their behavior is about them, not about you. Their rejection does not define your worth. The reason this move is so powerful is that when you stop fighting for validation, you stop giving other people the power to control your emotional state. You stop letting their lack of belief or acknowledgement shake your inner peace. Instead, you turn your focus inward and make the choice to become indifferent to their opinions. Not because you don't care about them as people, but because you recognize that their thoughts about you are beyond your influence. One of the most empowering realizations you can have been this: you don't need anyone's approval to know your own worth. It can be hard to accept, especially in a world where social validation and external recognition often feel so important. But when you realize that your emotional well-being is in your own hands, you begin to free yourself from the constant cycle of seeking approval from others. By mastering emotional disappearance, you also develop the strength to maintain your sense of self-worth in the face of adversity. The more you practice this, the less you'll feel the need to chase after people's acknowledgement or fight for your position. You'll grow more resilient, less reactive, and more aligned with your own inner truth. This is not to say you should completely detach from all relationships or ignore the feelings of those around you. Relationships are important, and empathy is key. But there is a world of difference between caring about others and allowing their opinions to dictate how you feel. When you practice emotional disappearance, you stop being tethered to others' reactions and start living more freely. Think about a time when you stepped back from someone's judgment or criticism and chose not to engage in a back-and-forth fight for validation. How did it feel when you no longer needed to win them over or get them to believe you? Did you feel a sense of liberation or empowerment? Comment below if you've ever found power in stepping back, and share how it changed your approach to the situation. Mastering the art of emotional disappearance is a skill that will serve you not only in moments of rejection, but in every aspect of your life. By learning to control your emotional response, you regain power over your own sense of peace and self-worth. And that's a power no one can take away from you. Step 2. Build your fortress of non-reaction. In life, people will try to provoke you, criticize you, or misunderstand you. It's simply part of the human experience. No matter how well-intentioned or reasonable you may be, there will always be individuals who challenge you, whether through doubt, rejection, or outright negativity. When faced with these kinds of situations, the question is not what happens to you, but how you choose to respond. This is where the Stoic principle of non-reaction comes in. a concept that can transform how you handle difficult people and challenging moments in your life. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, summed it up perfectly when he said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This means that while you cannot control the actions of others, whether they reject, insult, or ignore you, you have total control over your response. Instead of allowing external events to dictate your emotional state, the Stoic approach encourages you to remain steadfast and unshaken no matter the external circumstances. Building a fortress of non-reaction is all about mastering this idea, not letting the provocations of others infiltrate your peace of mind. The ability to stay calm, composed, and centered when others try to push your buttons is one of the most empowering tools you can possess. Imagine this. Someone questions your abilities, doubts your intentions, or dismisses your ideas. Instead of becoming defensive, angry, or upset, you respond with quiet strength and grace. You don't let their negativity penetrate your mental state. In doing so, you become untouchable, like a fortress that stands strong against the forces that try to tear it down. It's like being in the middle of a storm and still remaining calm and collected. The winds may howl, the rain may pour, but the storm itself doesn't alter your inner peace. This is where your true power lies. The ability to control your reaction, to not be swayed by the emotions of others, is where you create a solid foundation for emotional resilience. When you don't react to the chaos around you, you are no longer a victim to it. You take back control over your experience and maintain your peace, no matter how others choose to behave. The Stoic concept of non-reaction doesn't mean that you suppress your emotions or ignore them. On the contrary, it means that you acknowledge your feelings without letting them govern your actions. When someone doubts you or rejects you, you might feel hurt, frustrated, or even angry. That's natural, but what Stoicism teaches is that you don't have to act on those feelings immediately. Instead of reacting impulsively, you take a moment, breathe, and choose how to respond from a place of calm and reason, rather than emotion. A simple but powerful exercise in non-reaction is practicing the pause. Before you speak or act in response to someone who has provoked you, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what would my best self do here? This brief moment of reflection can make all the difference. You'll find that with time, you'll become less reactive and more deliberate in your actions. When you practice non-reaction, you train yourself to stand firm in your values, regardless of external pressures. This approach also protects your mental energy. Every time you react emotionally to negativity, you're expending energy that could be better used elsewhere. The more you practice non-reaction, the more you protect your emotional resources and maintain your inner strength. When you stop reacting to others, you stop giving them power over your peace of mind. It's not about ignoring the situation or pretending it doesn't matter. It's about choosing not to let it control your emotional landscape. Have you ever experienced a situation where you refused to react to negativity, criticism, or provocation? How did that feel? Was it empowering to remain calm and composed in the face of adversity? How did it impact the situation? Comment below and share how this non-reaction strategy has worked for you. Building a fortress of non-reaction is one of the most effective ways to protect your peace and preserve your mental strength. By mastering this art, you become more resilient, more composed, and more capable of handling anything life throws your way without losing your cool. The more you practice, the more untouchable you become, not because you're immune to life's challenges, but because you choose to rise above them with calm and clarity. This is the Stoic path to true power. Step 3. Turn their silence into your strength. Let's face it, silence can feel like rejection. When people stop talking to you, refuse to engage, or just flat out ignore you, it can sting. We all crave connection, validation, and understanding, so when that connection is severed or ignored, it's natural to feel hurt. But here's the important truth. Silence doesn't have to be your enemy. In fact, it can be one of your greatest allies if you learn how to use it. The Stoic philosopher Seneca famously said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." What this means is that the pain we feel from rejection or silence is often amplified in our minds, much more than it actually is in reality. The silence and distance that others create between you and them are only as painful as you allow them to be. It's your emotional response, not the silence itself, that dictates the impact. When people ghost you, stop talking to you, or refuse to engage with you, it's easy to spiral into feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and frustration. But what if you use their silence as a cue to turn inward, rather than inwardly collapse? Instead of letting their indifference define your self-worth, use this space to reflect, grow, and sharpen your focus on your own development. Their silence becomes a blank canvas, an opportunity to redirect your energy toward improving yourself, enhancing your skills, and staying focused on your goals. Think of it as a chance to take a step back from external distractions and get to work on what really matters, your personal growth. When you stop seeking validation from those who refuse to acknowledge you, you free up energy to concentrate on what will move you forward in life, your purpose, your ambitions, and your mental and physical well-being. Have you ever turned someone's silence into fuel for personal growth? Perhaps you used that time to refine a skill, pursue a new project, or reflect on how you can become a better version of yourself. How did that time away from distractions serve you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Silence doesn't have to be a wound. When used wisely, it can be a powerful tool for transformation. Step 4. Reclaim your focus and build your own path. When people don't believe in you, the natural reaction might be to try even harder to win their approval. You might find yourself over-explaining, seeking validation, or even changing your approach to get them to see your worth. But here's the key insight. Stop wasting energy on people who aren't worth it. Instead, shift your focus to something far more powerful, yourself. The Stoics were masters at focusing on their own path and ignoring the distractions of others. For them, the opinion of others was irrelevant in the grand scheme of life. Your life is yours to live, and your mission, goals, and personal growth should not depend on the approval or validation of anyone else. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, taught that we should focus on what we can control, our actions, our mindset, and our choices. External validation is not within your control, but your own focus and effort absolutely are. When people doubt you or refuse to believe in your potential, don't internalize their skepticism. Instead, use it as fuel to keep going, to prove to yourself that you can build your own path regardless of what others think. In fact, let their doubt become the very motivation that propels you forward. Doubt from others can be a powerful reminder that you don't need anyone's approval to succeed. The more they doubt, the more determined you should become to follow your own course and build the life you desire. By focusing on yourself and your own growth, you reclaim your personal power. You stop allowing others to define your worth, and you take charge of your future. Whether it's learning a new skill, setting a goal, or taking steps toward your dreams, your energy is best spent on building something that matters to you. not on proving yourself to people who may never understand. Have you ever been doubted by others and used that doubt as motivation to succeed? Maybe someone told you that your dream was unrealistic or that you couldn't achieve something. How did you turn that doubt into your drive? Share your experience in the comments below. We want to hear how you took control and built your own path. Step 5. Build emotional immunity. Emotional immunity is a powerful concept. It's the ability to stay emotionally strong and unshaken, even when people doubt you, criticize you, or completely ignore you. Imagine being so resilient that no matter what others say or do, you remain unaffected. This is the Stoic mindset, one that teaches us to not let external forces dictate our emotional state. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most respected Stoic philosophers, taught that the only thing in life we can control is our own thoughts and reactions. This is the essence of building emotional immunity, the realization that while we cannot control the actions of others, we have full control over how we respond. When people doubt you or try to bring you down, your emotional response is entirely in your hands. You can choose to rise above their negativity rather than letting it shake your confidence. When people ignore you or criticize you, you can remain calm and canted, undisturbed by their indifference. Building emotional immunity means training yourself to not be so affected by what others do or say. Instead of letting external circumstances like rejection, criticism, or neglect dictate how you feel, you learn to guard your emotional state. Your peace becomes something that others can't disturb. When someone doubts you, you don't internalize it. When someone ignores you, you don't take it personally. You keep going, focused on your path, knowing that their behavior doesn't have to impact your inner peace. This emotional strength doesn't mean suppressing or denying your feelings. It means becoming aware of your emotions and deciding not to let them control you. You acknowledge the hurt or frustration, but you don't let it derail you from your goals. Emotional immunity comes from the practice of detachment, detaching your sense of self-worth from the approval of others and learning that their actions don't define you. When you build emotional immunity, you stop giving others the power to shake your peace. You become more resilient, more self-reliant, and more focused on what truly matters. You rise when they doubt you. You move forward when they ignore you. You keep your peace no matter what. How do you protect your peace in moments of doubt, criticism, or rejection? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear how you've developed emotional immunity and stayed strong in the face of adversity. Step 6. Let go of the need for validation. One of the most freeing things you can do for yourself is to let go of the need for validation from others. The moment you stop depending on others for approval, recognition, or praise is the moment you reclaim your personal power. Think about it. How much energy do you expend chasing other people's opinions or trying to get them to see your worth? It's exhausting. People will always have their opinions, but those opinions don't define who you are. The key is realizing that you don't need anyone's permission to be yourself or to pursue your goals. The Stoics understood that external validation is fleeting and unreliable. If you live your life constantly seeking approval or applause, you'll always find yourself chasing after something that can never truly satisfy you. The validation of others may feel good in the short term, but it's never enough to build lasting self-worth or inner peace. As Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "Who are you to demand validation from anyone? You should be your own standard." When you stop needing external validation, You become unstoppable. You become free. You no longer tie your self-worth to how others perceive you, which means you're no longer at the mercy of their opinions. You make decisions based on what you believe is right, not based on what you think will win the approval of others. This shift in mindset is incredibly empowering. It allows you to pursue your goals, dreams, and ambitions without hesitation, because you know that your value is not determined by the approval of others. It's determined by your own sense of purpose and belief in yourself. The more you depend on others to affirm your worth, the weaker you become. It's like handing over the keys to your emotional well-being to someone else. But when you choose to validate yourself, you unlock the freedom to live authentically. So ask yourself, do I really need their approval, or can I find strength in validating myself? Have you ever stopped seeking validation from others? How did that shift your mindset and change the way you approached your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear how letting go of the need for approval has empowered you. Step 7. Use your solitude as fuel for personal growth. When no one believes in you, when people ghost you or refuse to engage, it's easy to feel isolated. The silence can be deafening, and the absence of support might feel like rejection. But here's the truth. Solitude is your secret weapon. Solitude doesn't mean loneliness. It's a powerful space where you can reconnect with yourself, reflect, and focus on what truly matters. Instead of seeing isolation as something negative, view it as an opportunity for growth. The Stoics embraced solitude as a tool for self-reflection and personal development. In fact, some of the most influential Stoic philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius, spent significant time alone, meditating on their actions, their purpose, and their values. They understood that solitude isn't about being abandoned or forgotten. It's about using the time away from distractions to strengthen the mind, clarify your thoughts, and build resilience. When no one is around to offer distractions, judgments, or opinions, you have the freedom to focus solely on your own growth. Solitude offers a unique space to dive deep into self-reflection. Without the influence of others, you can assess your actions, make adjustments, and commit to becoming a better version of yourself. This is where your personal transformation begins. The key is not to let solitude become a source of frustration, but to embrace it as an opportunity for self-improvement. Think about it. The more time you spend in solitude, the more room you have to grow. It's where you can sharpen your skills, refine your goals, and build the mental strength needed to thrive. You don't need external validation or constant social interaction to move forward. Instead, you use your time alone to fortify your sense of self and focus on the things that will propel you forward in life. What activities or practices help you grow stronger when you're on your own? Maybe it's reading, journaling, meditation, or simply reflecting on your goals. Whatever it is, solitude can become the breeding ground for your greatness. It's the quiet moments that give you the clarity to step into your full potential. How do you use solitude to grow? Share your experiences in the comments below. Let's talk about how we can all use solitude as a tool for personal transformation. Step 8. Use their doubt as fuel to prove them wrong. Nothing can push you forward quite like someone doubting you. When people don't believe in you, don't take you seriously, or write you off, it can feel like a slap in the face. But here's the powerful truth. You don't need to let their doubt defeat you. Use it as fuel to prove them wrong. The Stoics were masters of facing adversity head-on and using obstacles as opportunities for growth. They understood that challenges are not roadblocks, but rather chances to demonstrate resilience, build strength, and prove our own capabilities. When people doubt you, It's not a sign of failure. It's a signal that you've been underestimated, and you have the chance to show them exactly what you're made of. When someone doubts your abilities or your potential, don't let that negativity drag you down. Instead, let it spark something in you. Take their skepticism personally, but not in a way that weakens you. Let it fuel your determination to go harder, work smarter, and reach higher. Use their disbelief as a challenge to push yourself beyond your limits and prove that you are capable of much more than they think. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Every moment of doubt, rejection, or criticism is an opportunity to strengthen your resolve. By choosing to face these challenges head-on, you grow more resilient and more determined to succeed. People may doubt you, but their doubts don't define your reality. You do. Let their skepticism become the motivation that propels you forward with even greater force. Think about times when others have doubted your potential. How did you handle it? Did you let it slow you down, or did you use it to fuel your ambition and prove your worth? Maybe someone told you your goals were unrealistic or that you weren't good enough, but you didn't back down. Instead, you turned their doubt into the very fire that pushed you to achieve what they thought impossible. Have you ever been doubted by someone and turned that doubt into motivation? How did you prove them wrong? Share your story in the comments below. We'd love to hear how you used their disbelief as the spark for your success. Step 9. Become your own best company. When people doubt you, ignore you, or refuse to engage, it can feel isolating. But here's the most empowering lesson you can learn: become your own best company. The Stoics understood that true happiness and peace come from within, not from external sources. When you learn to be content in your own presence, nothing and no one can shake your sense of self-worth. Think about it. How often do we tie our sense of happiness to the opinions or approval of others? We wait for validation, attention, or recognition, believing that it's others who will complete us. But the Stoic wisdom tells us a different story. True contentment comes from within. When you become your own best friend, when you enjoy your own company, you unlock a profound sense of independence and inner peace. You realize that you don't need others to complete you. You're already whole. When you are your own best company, rejection, criticism, and even loneliness loses their power over you. You start thriving on your own energy, becoming more self-reliant and more secure in who you are, regardless of how others treat you. This doesn't mean you avoid relationships or don't care about others. It means that you don't depend on them to define your value. Your sense of worth comes from within, not from outside approval. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus emphasized this idea when he said, "Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." When you know who you are, and when you accept and embrace your own presence, you become untouchable by others' negativity. Their rejection, doubt, or indifference can no longer disrupt your peace. You become resilient in the face of adversity because your happiness isn't tied to how others perceive you. It's tied to your own thoughts and beliefs about yourself. Becoming your own best company means enjoying solitude without fear or loneliness. It's about embracing yourself fully, your strengths, your weaknesses, your flaws, and your potential. When you can truly enjoy your own presence, you no longer need to chase external validation or approval. You are enough, just as you are. What does be your own best company mean to you? How has learning to enjoy your own presence empowered you? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's discuss how cultivating self-contentment can help us rise above doubt and thrive no matter how others treat us. So the next time people doubt you, ghost you, or refuse to believe in you, don't panic. Use these 9 savage Stoic moves to regain control, rebuild your confidence, and thrive even when they don't see your worth. You have the power to turn rejection into strength and silence into success. Like this video? Hit that thumbs up, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and comment below with your favorite Stoic strategy. Which one are you going to try first? We'd love to hear your experiences. Remember, you are enough. You are powerful. And as the Stoics would say, keep rising, no matter what. See you in the next video.